evening and welcome to Channel 69 News. I'm your host, William Utek. As of this morning on September 17th, 1787, we received reports that the assembly at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has come to a close. The so-called Constitutional Convention, which began back on the 25th of May, has drafted a new governing document for our America. We have note of 55 delegates on the scene. They are representing all of the colonies except for Rhode Island. We take you live to Philadelphia with Benjamin Dover.
Thanks, Bill. I'm here inside Independence Hall where a meeting has just concluded. I understand that it was called together by James Madison of Virginia and Alexander Hamilton of New York, who I have here with me now. So, why exactly did you call this meeting and what were your intentions?
James and I heard that there was a meeting to be had regarding the flawed articles, and we decided to, rather than just fix them, we decided to just rewrite them entirely.
So, how exactly did you convince several states with opposing viewpoints to ratify this document?
Well, I called a few of my associates together to write the Federalist, which is a series of essays to convince the states that a strong central government was necessary and also that it still protected the rights of the people.
Wow, this Constitution sounds pretty important. Back to you, Bill.
Thanks, Ben. Hamilton sure has proven to be something special. Maybe someone will write a musical about him someday. Now we turn to Simon Quigley, also in Philadelphia.
Though it seems George Washington is the president of this summit, there are many important men who we have seen here today in Independence Hall, one of whom is William Patterson, who we have right here. So, Mr. Patterson, what were your ideas that you brought to the convention?
I brought about the New Jersey plan in response to the Virginia plan in favor of the smaller states. This plan proposed a one-body legislation in which each state will have an equal number of representatives, like is said in the Articles of Confederation.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. Now we'll swing over to Benjamin Dover, who was with James Madison. Thanks, Simon. So, Mr. Madison, what were the ideas that you brought to the convention?
I brought about the Virginia plan that was depriving from the Virginia's Constitution. I wanted states with larger populations to have more representation in legislature, as opposed to states having equal number of votes, like said in the Articles.
Alrighty. So, how did you help to convince the states to ratify the Constitution?
Alexander Hamilton wrote to me asking to write a series of essays called The Federalist.
Do you have any future plans for this new Constitution?
Yes, I intend to write some rights of the individuals as is lacking in the Constitution, and I plan to amend it.
James, your plan sounded great, but now we're going to switch over to Richard Long, who's with the Roger Sherman.
So, Roger, I understand that there was some debate between the New Jersey plan and Virginia plan. Could you tell us what your compromise was, what it was called, and just some stuff about that?
Yeah, boy, there were lots of arguments. The big states like Virginia, they wanted things based on population. Little states like Rhode Island, they're thinking we're going to get the shaft in a deal like that. They wanted equal representation. So what I came up with is the Connecticut Compromise, otherwise known as the Great Compromise, where we'd satisfy both those groups. We would have the big states satisfied with the House of Representatives, which would be based on population for representation. And then the little states would be satisfied with the Senate, where we'd have equal representation, 2 from each state.
Ah, perfect.
Hence the Great Compromise.
Sounds pretty great. Back to you, Bill.
It is clear that this convention will pave the way for our nation's future. The colonies will expectedly see change, as will certain foreign nations as a result. Our new Constitution gives Congress the power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. The legislative branch essentially has the power to control the nation's economy with the ability to regulate commerce with foreign nations and domestic states, coin and borrow money, and create rules of bankruptcy. We have George Washington on the phone in Philadelphia. George, is there anything you'd like to add to this?
The legislative branch has also been given the power to declare war, provide funding for armies and navies, and prohibit states from passing laws. One could assume that the newly centralized government will unite the colonies, though it does seem strange that the new article does not lay out rights of individuals.
When we return, health benefits of students playing Rise of Civilizations in class.
Rise on, brothers!